There's a storm brewing outside, so I thought it would be a good opportunity to test the Oculus Rift with the Formula 2 car in Rfactor 2. Now, one of the things with this car, whilst using the Oculus Rift, was the cockpit looks absolutely incredible, and it really feels like you're inside of a cockpit, and I think it's just because of the open seat of the car, and because I was using Tri-Def 3D, and I'd had the opportunity to set the field of view up to be a lot more narrower than with how it's set in iRacing by default. But it literally feels like you can lean over the side of the car and you're in an actual tub, which is really good. And I'm sure when the HD Rift comes out, Formula cars especially will be really exciting to drive. But as you can see, you can driving around quite motley. It's really nice to be able to look around at the other cars as you pass them. There's a couple of bugs and glitches going on. I had to turn the graphics right down because I was having some frame rate issues and some stutter. I'm not sure if that's because of Tri-Def being in beta or the Oculus Rift, or who knows. Going over to the historic cars in Rfactor 2, which are some of the more enjoyable cars I find to drive in Rfactor 2. Again, these are single seaters with you sort of planted in the cockpit. It's really awesome with the Oculus Rift. Again, you really feel like you're inside of an object, and a really strange sensation you get is it's as if you could stick your hand over the side of the car and touch the road and get friction burns from the road. With this version of the developer kit of the Rift, you can't you can look left, right, up and down, but you can't laterally move your head. So, but it looks like they're going to implement that in the final Rift. So it'll be even more immersive than what it is now. And for those of you that have been fortunate enough to try Half-Life VR mod that uses the Razer Hydra to give you that extra sort of 6 depth of tracking, you'll know how much of a substantial change that makes to the virtual reality experience and how much it affects how you feel planted in the virtual worlds. But you can see, looking around at the people around me whilst I drive, it's just a really interesting experience. Part of it comes from the head tracking and the nature of the Rift, but also the quality of the 3D and the fidelity of the 3D with the Oculus Rift is really unparalleled to anything else, and way more natural than just using a standard 3D screen. And that really gives a tangibility to the objects that are around you. So when a competitor's, in this case with AI, when they go past me or you're right next to them, it's like there's a solid object that belongs there. It's not just there's a car next to me on the screen. It's like there is something there. It's part of your brain activates, what's left of my brain activates and goes, oh, there must be something there because it's 3D and I'm looking at it. So it's just a really interesting experience. And with DevKit, it's all let down by the resolution and the fact that DevKit is a DevKit. But it's going to be so exciting to get the consumer version or the HD version of the Rift when that comes out. As I plant the car into a wall, which probably would have resulted in a fiery death, knowing this era of racing. But you can, even despite the limited resolution of the Rift, you can still control these cars and drive them. It's still abstract from what it'd be like to drive in real life, I'm pretty sure. But compared to driving on a screen as an experience, it's just something else. There's me understeering off that corner. These cars, you really need to know the brake points and take a more methodical approach to the tracks rather than just hammer it around. And again, I had to turn the graphics down low because I was having some issues, and you see this clipping stuff that's happening largely because of Tri-Def and the field of views being used. I presume when the Oculus Rift comes out of beta and the actual consumer version is available, that the developers will be able to more seamlessly incorporate it. But it really is. I wouldn't say it's worth buying a dev kit, but it is something that has to be tried, and especially when the consumer version comes out, you've got to go out and just buy one. I don't know how you get the money for it, but you could find some school kids and steal the lunch money. They're not going to fight back. And then you see the cars coming around. I just stopped racing. I thought I'd just take a look around because it's a weird thing with the Rift. You kind of just want to take in the environment, and the priority kick, because you get so focused with the screen that you're trying to get the direct aspect of the game. You're going to get the fastest lap, or you're going to just drive the cars. And when you put something like the Rift on, you're like, oh, I'm in a virtual environment and I kind of want to look around. I'm sure the novelty will wear off once we've had the Rift for 2 or 3 years, but if you haven't had a Rift, the first time you try it on, you'll just be like, oh, looking around like a child fresh out of the womb. The world is an amazing place. And that's how the Oculus Rift makes you perceive sim racing. Oh, it's really cool looking at the other cars as you go around. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it for my Oculus Rift videos for now. I'm going to wait until the actual consumer version comes out. But even as it is now, it's really exciting. As exciting as the Voodoo 2 when that first came out. So thanks for watching this video. Subscribe, like, do a dance, feel alright, sim race tonight.